Where are you headed, Montana? Spencer: Hey, you don't say. The season finale of 1923 is almost here, and I don't even know where to start because there is just so much happening. Not only is the season wrapping up earlier than expected as we skip what would have been the 8th episode, unlike the initial plan, but also this final episode will last for 2 hours and is no longer referred to as the series finale. Instead, it's being called the season finale. On one hand, this might be a marketing tactic to get us to tune in for the finale. On the other, this might truly not be the end of the series at all. In other words, we might not get the conclusion we've all been waiting for these past few years. Based on what we've heard from behind the scenes, the second option seems more likely. So let's talk about what might happen in the 1923 season finale in detail. First of all, Alexandra's situation is looking more and more hopeless. As you all know, she's trapped in the middle of nowhere, buried under snow, with a dead woman in her car. And her only hope of reaching Montana is officially gone. Needless to say, things are looking grim. It's like Taylor Sheridan is throwing every possible hardship at her, and I have to admit, this time she kind of walked right into it. Throughout the last episode, she ignored all the warnings and went on this adventure without thinking about the consequences. Now she's paying the price. She should have, waited a few more days for spring, but she didn't. Now, with the weather getting worse and no clear way out, it's going to take a miracle for her to survive. One likely option is that the car is actually placed near the railroad. Some of you even mentioned in my last video that you saw the railroad ahead, which is a great catch. Congrats. This obviously changes everything, so don't be surprised if she starts walking along the tracks to reach the nearest train station. It will be a terrible journey, no doubt about that, but she has to make it through. She'll endure all this for her baby. Interestingly, we'll see her briefly at the beginning of the episode, where it appears she finds a ride to Montana. Then we won't see her again until the very end, when she finally reaches Montana to meet Spencer. So prepare your tissues. We're about to witness the meeting of the century. Meanwhile, Tayona's story has been heartbreaking from the start, and it looks like her journey isn't over just yet. After everything she's endured, losing her father, mourning her lover, taking revenge on Father Renaud, I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd finally find peace. But I was wrong. Marshal Mamie Fett is closing in on her. And even though she had every reason to kill that priest, the law isn't on her side. This episode will show her desperately trying to convince Mamie that she's not a criminal, just a young woman fighting to survive in a world that has done nothing but try to break her. At first, Mamie is determined to imprison her, but after hearing her story, something shifts. He discovers a shocking truth that changes everything. Instead of condemning her to a cell, he makes a different choice. He lets her go, banishing her from Orlando instead of locking her away. Now, I know everyone's wondering what that shocking truth is, and trust me, I'm not going to keep you waiting. Tayona is pregnant. Yes, you heard that right. And that revelation becomes the turning point, the thing that ensures she gets the chance to start over. Mamie isn't the kind of person who would let a young pregnant woman rot in a prison cell. Of course, we already know Tiana eventually ends up in Montana because she's the grandmother of Thomas Rainwater. But I can't help feeling that we'll need another season to see how that all unfolds. Let me know what you think. Plus, there are rumours that Mamie will get his own spin-off series. Not an idea I'm personally a fan of, but let me know if you'd be on board to watch his journey in the S. But amidst all this heartbreak, there's still one bright spot. Spencer is finally making it to Montana. I mean, we've reached the ending of the show, so he really has no other choice, right? After what feels like an eternity of train hopping and obstacles, he's finally almost home. But of course, nothing ever comes easy in this world. As we all saw, a brutal snowstorm is slowing him down, making it feel like fate itself is working against him. Even the woman at the train station pointed out how unusual this weather is for spring, and I can't help but feel like that's a bad omen. And it's not just the storm that's against him. Donald Whitfield has already made it clear that he wants Spencer eliminated before he ever sets foot on Dutton land. His hitmen are on Spencer's trail, and this episode is going to have one of the most intense action sequences yet. Don't worry though, there's little to no chance that we'll say goodbye to Spencer in this episode, not after losing Jack already. Donald's hitman will be the one who dies this time because Spencer didn't come all this way just to lose now. But the moment he steps off that train, he's walking straight into another fight. This time, it's an all-out shootout. Jacob, the sheriff's men, and Donald's forces are all waiting for Spencer at the train station, and it's going to be complete chaos in the best way possible. And then there's Kara. While Spencer and Jacob are caught in a gunfight at the train station, Donald's men are launching a full-on attack on the Yellowstone ranch. That means Kara is going to have to step up like never before. She's not just protecting a home, she's protecting what's left of her family. She's making sure Spencer has something to return to, and I'm absolutely rooting for her. At the very end, we will witness the Duttons dropping the bodies they killed from the cliff above the train station, an incident that kicks off the infamous train station law of Yellowstone. And personally, I'm very excited for it. Now I can see you typing, "What about Elizabeth?" Well, clearly we'll witness her being left shattered, and her grief is about to take an even darker turn. The pain of losing Jack is pushing her to the edge, and as we move into the finale, I can already see her spiraling into despair. That despair is putting her baby's life at risk. So while Kara is fighting to save the ranch, she's also doing everything she can to keep Elizabeth safe. The one silver lining is that this kind of immediate danger is going to force Elizabeth to wake up and take action. She's going to pick up a rifle herself and fight back against the men who took her husband from her. In a way, this is the moment she truly becomes a Dutton woman, and I already know she's going to be an absolute badass. The sad part? Rumours suggest that she will leave the Dutton ranch in the end to live with her family in the city. After all, there's no more Jack, no reason to endure that brutal Montana winter. For more weekly updates, analysis and discussions on 1923, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.